This is my trusty little pocket notebook. Why am I showing you this, you may ask? This little thing has been helping me clear my mind for a couple of months now. It's where all of my spontaneous ideas go throughout the day. I jot down everything in this thing. Thoughts, ideas, the whole shebang that my mind thinks of. Hobbies, cameras, car stuff, life, plans in the future, you name it. With this size, it allows me to bring it anywhere. To work, grocery shopping, and even on my nightstand when going to bed. Literally anywhere. Now, I've been writing this note-taking wave since July of 2023 with my very first notebook, which is this one. So it's been almost 6 months since the first day I started this. But over time, I opted for a much smaller notebook so it's much easier to carry it. If I spot something interesting, I write it down. Had a conversation with someone and sparked some ideas, I write it down. I try to deliberately make the habit of writing things down as soon as possible so my ideas remain fresh. The quicker I write, the clearer it stays. I've once heard Tiago Forte, the author of Building a Second Brain. I don't know if it was from a podcast or a YouTube video, but I remember him saying along the lines of, our minds are meant for idea generation, not for holding or remembering information. That hit me like a ton of bricks back when journaling or note-taking didn't even exist in my life yet. I remember when I always have an idea, I will try to keep it in my head, keep it in my mind for as long as I can. The longer I keep it in my mind, as time passes, the idea just gets blurrier. And at the end, I don't really know what was the idea because I have no records of information of what that idea was. But that's when I thought, why not give note-taking a try? Now, not everything I scribble is pure gold. I realized that after doing it for 6 months. Most of it are pretty vague. Some days I'll stumble upon ideas that are, let's say, not my brightest moments. And you know what? That's okay. I cross them out and move on. It's better to have a record of a bad idea than not have any records of any ideas at all. This video that you're watching right now, it was also an idea that I wrote on this very notebook. And here we are, making it a reality. Now, this frame that you see right behind me, this is actually our vision board that me and my wife talked about. This vision board, this frame, was actually one of my early notes on this very notebook. Now, this frame is now happily living in my office space as a motivational piece, doubling as a cool decoration. Talk about a win-win. But CJ, would it be easier if I just used the Notes app on my phone? I would agree to in most cases, but hear me out. Don't get me wrong, I'm still using the Notes app on my phone, which is the Apple Notes, but not as my main system for capturing ideas because I now have this. Apple Notes was convenient, but right now I'm only using it for shared grocery notes with my wife and while driving, because you can't really write while you're driving. So I just asked Siri to make a note for me.
What do you want it to say?
But having a physical thing that I can write something on just makes every thought even more memorable because I've actually taken the time and brain power to write that idea on paper, which gives your ideas a little bit more clarity than it was when it was in your head. Now, I'm sure most of us are either typing or scrolling on our phones majority of the day. So the action of typing isn't really an intentional task anymore, at least for me. Writing takes a little more brain power and focus, therefore making it more room to stick in your mind. But that's just me. If you're comfortable in using Apple Notes or any other note-taking apps on your phone, then be my guest. I will respect that. Do whatever floats your boat. I'm just sharing what floats my boat.
For those of you who haven't tried this yet, you might be second guessing if all I'm saying here is true. Full transparency, worked for me, especially when it comes to filmmaking. So I suggest you just try it out for a couple days, and see how it goes. Just get a small notebook, or any notebook for that matter, and just bring it with you anywhere you go. Whenever an interesting idea or a thought pops into your mind, just pull out the notebook and write it down ASAP. Your brain will thank you for preserving that brain power for not remembering thoughts for long periods of time. I'm not saying it'll work for everyone, but it's worth giving it a shot. If it doesn't, I'm sure there are other systems that'll work for you. If it works, then welcome to the club. You've just unlocked a lifelong habit that you can use in your life.